Well, hello, Sissy. I'm just gonna laugh. Okay, so this is our second video, and if you haven't done so, please watch the first one. Like we promised in the first one, we're gonna talk about motherhood in this one, which is, I'm really excited. Jimena is super excited for us to talk about this motherhood video.
So we are in my house, so as you can see.
We wanted to be very homey for this one. I think
Yes.
it's a good feel.
And our children are here, so you might hear more than one.
Yes. So,
Motherhood.
Yes, motherhood. But first and foremost, before, if you go to our IG, you'll be able to go, it has a link to our YouTube page, which you're going to be able to see the first video and the second video when we post it. You can search us through Well Hello Sissy, and
Underscore.
on IG is Well Hello Sissy _. So both of them have the same name.
Oh, yes.
So we are super excited to start this, and we are going to start with when we found out.
Yes.
But
First, you'll be seeing us have a glass, a large glass of wine. Cheers.
Oh, it's music to my ears.
And the wine, what wine are we having?
We are having
One of my faves.
mine too. Silver Oak 2015 Alexander Valley Cabernet Sauvignon. Am I saying it right?
I don't know.
I don't know.
A cab.
So we are from Napa, California. So it's only right that we have wine.
Yes.
It's only right that we have wine.
Yes.
Delicious wine. Very good. And I think I need this because, well, it's gonna be deep. I think this video is gonna make me kind of cry a little bit.
It's gonna get in our feelings.
Yeah, for sure. I'm in my
The
feelings.
feels. Get all the feels out. So let's just go for it. You want to start?
I'll start on this one because I know you started on the first video.
Yeah.
So when I found out how I was pregnant with my first and my second are kind of similar. I happened to get positive pregnancy tests, like the first response in the clear blue positives. But when I go to the doctor, they come out negative, and my blood work comes out negative, and my ACG levels have to be checked and triple checked, and because they don't, I guess they're supposed to double within 24 hours, and then after that they're gonna double again, and that's how you know you have the pregnancy hormone in your body. But for some reason, for me, it doesn't come out until like I'm 2 months pregnant. So with my first one, I was super excited. Me and my husband were actually engaged at the time. We were trying, and we got pregnant. Didn't find out until I was two months, and I was super excited. I mean, I was just so overjoyed. I'm like, yay, we're pregnant. And then with my second one, we were trying, but we didn't expect to get pregnant right away. I thought I was on birth control for so long. It's been 4 years. I don't think it's going to happen. So let me get off birth control and see what happens. And it literally, see? That's Jimena, if you hear her. She's like, it literally took one time, and I called my sister-in-law, and I was in tears because I'm like, oh my gosh, I knew what I was doing. I knew we wanted to get pregnant, but I didn't think that it was gonna happen this soon. And I got off birth control in April, and I was already pregnant in June.
What birth control were you using?
At the time I was using the NuvaRing. I was doing the NuvaRing. Yeah, and it just took it out, and I got pregnant. And we have a 7-month beautiful baby girl, and she is a ball of energy. I love it. So that was my emotions with finding out my first and my second.
Okay, and so mine is completely different.
I love your story though. I do.
Thank you. I love yours too.
It.
How old were you with the first one?
With my first one, I was pregnant at 24. Yeah, I was 24.
Okay, and then with Jimena,
I is 20, 28. 28. I have to think about it. Yeah. 24, 28. Hello, they're 4 years apart.
That's okay. That's okay.
So I'm gonna let her tell her story.
And I love your story too. I was gonna lead up to that. So mine is completely different than hers. I was only 19 years old when I found out that I was pregnant. I was living at home, going to school to become a medical assistant, something that I've always wanted to do, and then work my way up to become an RN, which I still have not, but I will one day.
I believe in you.
I need it to set that goal. Anyways, so I was only 19 years old when I found out I was pregnant. My husband and I, we were dating for 5 years. So yes, I started dating him when I was 14. So I was 19 when I found out I was pregnant. I was on the birth control patch, and I had been using it for maybe 2 years. I think like 2 years. So I know it did work, but apparently if you take it off and just one day, that's all it takes. So like Jeanette said, it only takes one time, and that it did. And now I have my beautiful baby girl Bella, who is 6 now. She will be 7 in November. And then so those emotions were very, I want to say scary. The one that I can remember the most was very scary. I was very young. I was living at home. I was terrified to tell my parents. It was just a lot of emotions. But then I don't know, it was all beautiful. It was very, I don't know what the word is. So then we got engaged and we got married in May of that year, 2012, and I moved in with my husband. And then from then on, everything was just beautiful. She came out on Thanksgiving that year. My little turkey baby. With Julian, total opposite. Was not a surprise at all. We definitely planned everything. I would tell my husband that I really, really wanted a boy. I always saw myself with a little boy. And I got a little obsessed, I must say. Sorry, Jenna's standing over there, I'm looking at her. I went a little crazy. Even my husband was like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? So I started doing all this research. How to have a boy, what do you eat to have a boy, when do you need to, to have a boy, everything. I was eating bananas like crazy. I was calculating my ovulation, and she's back. I was tracking my ovulation with this app. I was doing all sorts of things. And so it was 2015, June to be exact. One time we tried it and it worked. And I might sound crazy still, but I believe, I know it doesn't happen to everyone, but I tracked it and I planned it, and I have a little boy now. So call me crazy, but
no,
I did the research. So yeah, very, very different, very planned versus a huge surprise. So now, I was so excited. When the doctor said it was a boy, I just looked at my husband and like,
told you.
I was right. I was so excited. But yeah, so very different. Very scared versus truly excited. But at the end, same feeling. Happy, grateful, blessed.
This is
Jimena. Hi.
Yes.
All right. Excited. So you can go on and let's talk about being pregnant.
Yeah.
The feelings of being pregnant.
So when I was pregnant with my first, it was amazing. I mean, I was eating a lot, and I gained a lot of weight with my first, I gained 70 pounds. And I didn't think about it affecting me. Emotionally, it did towards the, after I gave birth, because I was like, why am I so fat? I don't understand. Why do I have a belly? I normally women tend to lose the weight right away. Why am I still like this? I don't understand. And then versus my second, it was just I was nauseous the whole, basically almost until my third trimester started. I was nauseous. I couldn't keep water down. It was, ugh. And I don't know if it was some people like, oh, it's because you're having a girl. I have no idea. And with her, I got gestational diabetes. So it was kind of rough. And with my first one, my water broke and I went into the hospital. With her, I had to have
Induced.
I had to be induced. I forgot the word.
Okay.
I was induced with her, and a long labor. I went in Saturday, didn't come out until Tuesday. And see, this is why she gives me a lot of trouble compared to my first one. It was 15 hours of labor, and
your first one.
Yeah, it was my first one. It was 15 hours of labor, and it was I would say smooth sailing. I didn't have to do all the balloons and the Mizzo and the Pitocin and breaking them having to break my water. It was just more, it was physically hard with her than it was. I'm gonna put her down.
Okay, so with my first one, when I got pregnant, I was about, I want to say 150, 147, 150, around there. And I gained about, I want to say 30, how much did I end up at? Like 180, maybe 30, 35 pounds, now that I'm thinking about it. I usually say 30, but I want to say it was 30 to 35 pounds. My husband got a lot of the cravings, but I just joined on it. Like, he would suggest things, and I'd be like, yeah,
good idea.
Let's get it. McDonald's at 11 o'clock at night, yes. Large fries, yes. It was, her pregnancy, was like clockwork. 7 a.m. on the dot, I was puking. But nothing would come out. It was just that morning. Sorry to get a little graphic. Just
no,
that,
get there. That's what this is about. Get there.
That morning acidy stuff trying to come out. It was, I used to work at a doctor's office. And I remember getting up, taking a shower, 7 o'clock, getting it out of my system, putting my scrubs on. It was like clockwork. I want to say it stopped around halfway through my second trimester. I would walk a lot. My husband and I, we would have dinner and we would just go walking like every single day. And I remember it was the day before Thanksgiving, November 21st. We walked a lot that day, and I told him, I had a couple cousins that were pregnant, I believe, and I was like, everyone has their baby. I want my baby so bad. And I'm trying to think. No, yeah, it was November 21st. Next thing you know, I want to say it was, what time was it? I had her at 8 in the morning the next day on Thanksgiving. I got to the hospital around 2 or no. My water broke at 2 in the morning. I got to the hospital at 4 in the morning. I was only 1 centimeter. They said, this is your first baby. You're only at 1 centimeter. You need to walk and we'll check you. If you haven't progressed, then we're going to send you home. And I was in so much pain. I was walking up and down the halls. They didn't give me anything. I remember just holding onto the railing and almost crying, holding my breath. It was horrible. I walked up and down for 2 hours. So I went back. We got there at 4. I went back to get checked again at 6 in the morning. and they were like, oh my gosh, okay, you're I want to say like 6 centimeters. So I was still in the, what is it called, the triage room?
Triage room, yeah.
And then all of a sudden the nurses and the doctors disappeared, and I was just holding my husband's hand, and I was like screaming, and I remember I was screaming loud, and my husband was just looking at me like telling me shh, and I was getting so mad. I'm like, don't tell me shh. I don't have any medication. I just kept feeling the contractions one after another, and then all of a sudden a doctor comes in, and she said, oh my gosh, you're 10 centimeters. And they put me in the room, and 20 minutes later I had her. I didn't get anything, no IV, no, I just wanted Tylenol, anything. I didn't get an epidural, nothing. It was the worst pain ever. Oh man, I don't even know how else to describe it. But so I had her pretty quickly. What time did I say my water broke? Like at 2 in the morning, and then I had her at 8 in the morning. So that was pretty fast. But my second pregnancy, I want to say I had, the nausea it wasn't clockwork like it was with my first. It was a little more random. I had it throughout the day, sometimes with him, not just in the mornings. It went away a lot faster. As soon as I got to my second trimester, it was gone. And then from then on, it was pretty smooth. A lot of walking with him as well. Because I know that helped with my first one. So I walked a lot. And when I went into labor with Julian, that was pretty crazy. It was the day before Valentine's Day of 2016. So it was the day before Valentine's Day. It was February 13th. I got my first contraction at home at midnight. I woke up, I felt it, and I just opened my eyes like, oh, the feeling is back. I grabbed my phone, I looked at it, it was midnight, like 12:02. I stood up, and all of a sudden was a gushing, huge warm water coming out. It was like the movies. Julian's was not like that. It was little drips. I mean, Bella's, it was just little trickles coming out. But with Julian, it was a whole bunch of hot water that came out. I turned around and my husband was asleep, and I said, Robert, get up. My water just broke. And he like looked at me and like went back to sleep. I'm like, get up. My water just broke. It was crazy. So that was at midnight. I got in the shower. We left to the hospital. And I had him at 2 in the morning. So I was in labor for 2 hours. Once again, no medicine, no epidural. It was pretty crazy. They put me in the triage room. I was at 8 centimeters. They waited like 20 minutes, and I was screaming because the child was coming out. I just remember them wheeling me, putting my hands across my chest, and then moving me to another room. And then I kind of don't remember what else was going on. I just remember the doctor. It was a male doctor this time. He looks at me and he yells, Sandra! And I just look up at him, and he goes, okay, you're gonna push once and then one more and your baby's gonna be out. I pushed twice and he was out. It was crazy. Super crazy, but yeah, very smooth deliveries and smooth pregnancies. So I'm very grateful and blessed that everything went okay with my babies. I was rambling and rambling.
No, I love it. I love the fact that yours was just like boom, 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 boom.
Oh,
and mine were like, oh,
and it's crazy because obviously that's all I've ever experienced, right? Yeah. And people tell me like, oh, you're so lucky. Yeah. But in my head, inside of me, I feel like it is super lucky. But like with Julian, I said I want an epidural because I mean I sound so weak, but I'm like, oh, I want to just. I see girls, they like it's take pictures in the bed and they look so cute, and mine is like boom boom boom, like no, you're no medicine, you're just gonna feel it all, you're gonna have them, and I'm just like, oh man.
I was one of them that was in the bed. I did not feel cute.
Well, no. Do you see like?
No, and I had epidural on both of mine. You know, I went up to 7 centimeters with Jimena, and I was just so tired. I'm like, if you guys are gonna make me go through these contractions and these pains for this many hours, just pop my water. And they did. And once they popped my water, I screamed. I apologized. I'm like, I'm so sorry. You know, at that time, I was looking at my husband, and he was just looking at me like cringed, like, oh my God, like the exorcist, like what's wrong with her? But it was because I was apologizing because I'm like, I'm so sorry. I can't take the pain. I'm just gonna get that epidural because I said I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna go no meds, but I just couldn't do it. So I was apologizing, and honestly, I'll be right back. It's my
being determined to walk, and I thank my husband still to this day for getting me committed into walking, because I truly believe that's why I had such easy, fast labors. I was in no way, shape, or form healthy. I gained 25 pounds with Julian and 30 to 35 with Bella. I mean, I still gained a good amount of weight, and but just I think the gravity, walking, being determined truly helps.
Walk.
Yes.
Yes.
It really does.
I did not walk. I did towards the end, like the last 2 months. And so I had the epidural for both of my deliveries. And
it's nothing to be ashamed of.
At first I was kind of like, oh, bummed out.
Yeah,
like,
and I feel like a lot of people are pressured to not get it, which in my opinion, I'm like all for it. And I'm a little sad that I didn't get it because holy moly, it hurts. But
well, it wears off. Let me tell you. With my first, I got the epidural and it wore off, and so I felt everything. I was pushing the button, the doctor's like, it doesn't work anymore. And then with my second one, I had got the epidural, and within 30 minutes, she was out. I was pushing, and I didn't feel anything, so that was great.
That's awesome.
That was great not to feel anything. I was just, and I was more calm. I wasn't like, this is the last time. Like with my first one, I was telling jokes. The poor doctors were like, ha ha ha, like, come with this lady. Like, I'm pretty sure they hear it all the time.
Yeah.
So that was my labor. The best thing we could talk about is postpartum depression. A lot of women get it. Some people get baby blues. Some people don't get anything, and that's great.
You want me to start?
Yeah, you start on this one.
Okay. So I guess I wasn't clinically diagnosed. You can get clinically diagnosed, right? I feel like you can.
I think so. If it's severe, yes.
Yeah, because I know they even give like out medication for. So I was not clinically diagnosed, but from what I remember, with Bella, with Julian, I didn't get it at all. With Bella, I feel like I had slightly postpartum depression. I was in my room a lot during the day with her. I feel like I hardly ever came out. I mean, she was born in November and it was very cold, but I don't think that was the only reason that I was in there. I did feel, my husband took off 1 week of work, which he did help me a lot. Even though he only took off 1 week, he did help me out at night. He helped me a lot. So I can't complain that he went back to work right away. But like I said, I was young. I was 20 when I had her. But it was just a young first time thing, my hormones. I remember my mom would come and help me, and I would see her and I would just start crying. My husband would get home from work, I would just start crying. The first day he left back to work, I pretty much cried all day. It was rough. I want to say as soon as she turned closer to 2-3 months, it started getting better. I remember when, like, the first couple of weeks when it started getting dark, I would get like so sad. Like, I don't want it to be nighttime because I know I'm gonna get up and she's gonna cry. And there's times when you can't stop them from crying, and you just cry with them. And with Julian, it was a lot easier. I wasn't much older, but I was 23, and it wasn't my first, so I kind of got the hang of it. Like I said, Robert was very supportive and helpful on both times. If the baby wanted to be awake at night, even though he was working, he would let me sleep.
That's nice.
Yeah, I was pumping, breastfeeding. So it wasn't that, and I was I was in the living room, I was cooking, I was doing more day-to-day things with Julian than with Bella. I just remember being stuck in the room because I just didn't want to get up. And with Julian, we would go on walks. I would take Bella and Julian out on walks in the stroller. So very different, but I do feel like I did have a little bit of postpartum depression with Bella.
Yeah, and mine's kind of similar towards your. And I was actually living with you at the time with when I had Caesar up until he was 8 months, and then we got our house.
I didn't say that,
Yeah.
but
Yes.
so I don't know if that has anything to do with it. When I had Bella, we were living with my husband's brother and his wife, so the house was not just our own. There were another couple living there, so I don't know if that had anything to do with the fact that I just couldn't be out like freely. Like, we're breastfeeding 24/7
Basically.
and I mean, with your brother-in-law in the house, you're not just gonna pop it out
Whoop.
wherever you
and there's some women that do it. Good for them. It's
yes
just
I personally, I was
not for me.
I didn't think I felt comfortable with that, so I don't think that had anything to do with it, but that was my current situation where I did live with someone else in our home. When I had Julian, they had moved out, they had bought their own home, and I was feeding him everywhere, and it was very different. So thank you for mentioning that.
Yeah.
You guys did live with us.
Yes, so I lived with you, and I had the same thing. I mean, I want to say that I had more baby blues than I was depressed, because I know with postpartum depression, there's similar symptoms of baby blues, but the only thing with baby blues is where you feel like you want to hurt your kid, or you don't want anything to do with it. So versus baby blues is just more emotional. You're crying all the time. You don't feel like doing anything. And I think that's what I had more with Caesar. And then with Jimena, it was complete opposite. I was up and about. Even my husband says it. He's like, oh my God, you're completely different this time around. And I don't know if it's because we already know what's going to happen, or it's just, okay, I can do this, I'm in my own home now. I can breastfeed whenever I want to. I don't need to cook. I don't feel like I need to cook. No one's going to judge me if I'm wearing the same clothes for 2 days or have milk stains. So I think that I really do feel like that has something to do with it.
Definitely.
And it's completely different. And I do, please, women, if you feel that you have postpartum depression, seek help. You're not the only one. There's many women who don't talk about it, and I'm so glad that now there's a lot of people talking about like making breastfeeding, normalizing it. I mean, I do have to say something about when I was at Legoland, I did see someone breastfeeding. They had the pouch, and they were breastfeeding, and I was out there just stamping. And I really wanted to, and this is what I'm kicking myself, because I really wanted to go up to her and be like, thank you so much, because women like you who feel comfortable to breastfeeding out in the open, you they're part of the solution of making it normalized. And I think that's great. Versus women who don't feel comfortable enough, or make the society is making it like, oh, that's not normal, like cover up, you're showing too much, you should wear something that's hot and the baby's sweating, and so I do think hand in hand that has to do with the postpartum depression, where you could breastfeed, you're in your own home, you could have you know that you haven't taken a shower maybe in 2 days. I know it sounds gross, but I mean, like, it happens.
You're just so focused on your baby.
Like you forget about yourself.
Just totally throw it out the window. At least for the first couple of weeks, because you need to start getting back into a routine.
Yes.
Because you get thrown off. So.
Yes. Talk about feeding. I know I went to breastfeeding for a little bit, but let's talk about feeding the baby.
Okay, so I will start. I just want to put my opinion out there. It is okay not to breastfeed. I personally loved it, but if you truly can't, or you're just against it, we need to stop shaming each other.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's a lot of pressure that women are getting nowadays also, that
breast is best.
Yes, because it was breast is best, and like sometimes you just don't produce enough, and don't go out and start making these girls feel bad, because that's not okay. Like, to each their own.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Yes. So anyways, that's how I feel. But with my first one, I really wanted to breastfeed. I just thought it was the best thing in the world. It looked so awesome being able to bond with your baby, and I was like, that is what I'm going to do. Well, I could not get her to latch on to save my life. It was painful. I had to go see a lactation consultant, is what they're called.
They are.
She would, when she was there with me, Bella would grab on, but when I was at home, no. I couldn't get her to latch on. She finally learned after about a week or two of her crying and crying and crying. I tried different things. I tried, they gave me those little liquid formulas.
Yeah.
And I attached something to it, and she would
like
drink
a tube.
that along with my breast, and I was supplementing because I could not get her full. She was crying because she was hungry. So I got her to latch on, and it was on and off, the latch. And for about 3 months, she was eating I want to say I was formula feeding and breastfeeding, but more formula feeding. And at 3 months, I gave up. I was so sad. And I remember seeing one of my cousins. She was an amazing breastfeeder, and I was just so sad because I could not do it. And I remember I knew I couldn't do it, and one time we were at a party, and I went in there and I tried it again, and nothing, and I was heartbroken. And I remember Robert and I was telling him, I'm like, I'm just so sad. He's like, you know what? We just have to feed her. Like, she needs to be fed. And as soon as I started formula feeding her, she was full. She was happy. So I pretty much could not breastfeed her. She got maybe 3 months worth, and that's about it. And it was heartbreaking, but at the end of the day, whatever made her happy and full is what mattered. With Julian, I said, okay, here's my second chance. I'm gonna try it again. And this little boy, he came out, started eating. I was like, I looked at my husband, I was like I don't even know, like,
what?
He just knows what to do. So I breastfed him for a year. I don't know how I did it. I went back to work when he was 3 months old, but I took him with me. And I had him with me until he was about 4 or 5 months, and then I took him to the babysitters, and I fed him until he was 1.
That's amazing.
Only thing I I don't know if it's a coincidence, but I did notice with my kids, my daughter would get sick a lot, all the time. Like she would get a lot of ear infections. She would just get sick a lot. And Julian, on the other hand, he not hardly ever. Just to throw that out there. But I mean, like I said, no shaming. Whatever works for your baby.
Yes, fed is best.
Mm-hmm.
So for mine, I breastfed both of them, but not for long. So when I was feeding my first one, similar story, he could not latch on. It took me a month of pumping and feeding him, pumping and feeding him, and trying to get him to latch on, finally, he was 1 month and he finally latched on. And then after that, I fed him for 3 months. I was producing. I had lots of milk with my first one. I was selfish, I would say, because I really wanted to lose the weight. I was so sad. So I wanted to start doing these. Obviously you can't take supplements when you want to lose weight. The supplement diet pills and all this magic stuff that tells you you're gonna lose weight within like a week, which is not true. So I decided to just cold turkey stop, not even pumping it. I was engorged. I had to put go to sleep with cabbage in my boobs finally. So I gave him 4 months actually, 4 months worth of breast milk. And then after that, just formula. And then with Jimena, I breastfed her, and this is my first day not feeding her at all because I'm not producing yet. Today is a full 24 hours. I'm not leaking. She just doesn't want me anymore. And I think that's a little bit heartbreak. The bottle, I think she got used to that. And I would pump at work and I would produce, and all of a sudden my milk super declined. And now she's formula feeding, and I don't know, because my first one was never got sick. Basically his first whole year being born. And then we went to Disneyland, and then the whole month he was sick. He got the cold, and he had hand, foot, and mouth, and then he got a fever. And then with my second, Jimena, she thankfully hasn't gotten sick yet. She's 7 months, and I'm really hoping that now with fall, and then winter coming, I'm really hoping that she doesn't get sick, because it's really sad when it's starting to get really cold. It's starting to get really chilly over here now. So fed is best.
Yes.
And this is our opinion. So please don't hate us. There's a community out there that whatever you're comfortable with, please, if there's a club out there, join it. Be part of the solution, not the problem. So we support everybody. So I'll start with sleep deprivation. You don't sleep. I want to say I co-sleep. I do. My 4-year-old still sleeps with me and my husband. And we're in the transition of him going into his room. So he'll start off in his room, and then he'll end up in our bed in the morning. And that's fine. That's fine. It works for us. I know they say that we need to quit it, but if it's working for us, that's fine. We're happy. We will transition fully, and hopefully it works. And then with my second one, she's gonna go into her crib soon. She sleeps in a bassinet, and I'm not as sleep deprived with her than I was with my first. And I think it's because when you are pregnant for the first time, you're going through so many changes in your life and everything is new. Everything is new. So you feel more lack of sleep, I guess, with your first one, because everything is so new. And with your second one, it's like, okay, I got this, this is okay. And then some women feel the same way as they did with their first one, with their second one. And that's completely fine. It's normal to feel like a zombie.
sleep deprivation.
Yeah.
Yes. My turn?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Let's think about this.
And we're drinking Aquafina water. Delicious. That's exactly what I said.
It was a little harsh the first time around. Like, and I was still a teenager, even though I wasn't. I was 20, but I just could not wake up. Sometimes it was so hard for me.
And you're a sleeper.
I am a sleeper. I still to this day can sleep in if my kids and husband let me. But the first time around, it was pretty tough. And the second time around, it's still tough, but you learn to get over it quicker. And the fact that you don't just have one anymore. You have another little child running around that you need to attend. I feel like I got past it sooner than the first time around. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You are sleep deprived no matter what, if it's your first, second. I mean, I only have two, but I'm assuming first, second, third, fourth, fifth, whatever. A baby is a baby. Unless they literally sleep on the same schedule as you do, you're going to be somewhat sleep deprived.
Definitely.
So yeah, what about co-sleeping?
I talked about that.
You
I
talked
do.
about that? Okay.
So I'm guilty. Guilty as charged. I co-sleep.
So with my daughter, we were pretty bad. I mean, I don't okay, not bad, but she slept with us. We had her crib in our room that she didn't really use. She slept with us. She just would sleep in the middle of we had a queen bed back in the day, and she would just sleep in the middle. And it got pretty, I guess it is bad. I consider it bad because she was like 4. Yeah, 4. So we would put her in her room and she would just come back and we would just let her sleep with us. And
I'm not laughing because I'm on the same boat.
And then, well, I had Julian when she was 3, and that's when it was the toughest because I had Julian in the bed with us, and then she would want to come in, and so all 4 of us would be really crammed on that queen bed, and it was tough. Backaches and getting kicked in the face, sleeping sideways. Yeah, it was pretty tough, but we did get her to start sleeping in her room. I don't even remember how, to be honest with you.
Please pass it on.
Remember.
Please, because
I don't know how, but it happened. She started sleeping in her room, and then Julian was with us in our bed until 4 months, and then 4 months old, I know, really young, I decided to put him in his crib, and he actually stayed. But the funny part is we actually moved. We bought another house with this house that we're in now. And I feel like he doesn't like to sleep in his room. We put him in his bed. And
he has a neat room.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like for a little 3-year-old, I would love to have a room like that. He goes either to his sister's bed or to our bed. Not so much our bed. He loves sleeping with his sister. They just hold hands and they fall asleep.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah. I need to work on getting him to sleep in his own room. So if any of you have any suggestions, please let me know. She said he has a cool room. His room, it's all blue and it has superheroes painted. The previous owners had a daycare here, and his room is hand painted. It has Superman, Spider-Man, Batman, and all these comic book like sayings on the wall. It's pretty neat. The artist did an awesome job, and that's I must say one of the qualities that made me fall in love with this house. because my husband is a superhero fanatic, and it just looked awesome. So, but not even like that makes him want to sleep in his room. He does still have the crib that turns into a toddler bed. That is what he has in his room, the toddler bed. And I must say that mattress is not the most comfortable mattress in the world. So I was just telling my husband the other day that I think we need to update his bed. I've been looking on Amazon, actually, at this really cool bed. It's kind of like, it's lifted off the floor, I want to say maybe the height of the couch, and it has a little slide at the end of it. And it's pretty cheap. It's like $150. And I want to get him a really comfortable mattress to inspire him. I've tried different things, and I know this sounds horrible. I've tried saying, I'm going to give your room to another little boy, and he says, no.
So sorry.
And he says, no, mommy. And he will lay down in his bed, but he always ends up in his sister's room. So yeah, if you guys have any tips, please let me know. I am very fortunate that they both sleep outside of our room. They're not in our beds any longer. It is helping with Robert and I's back issues. We were having a lot of back issues. We no longer get kicked in the face. The only time they are allowed to sleep with us is when they're sick, but knock on wood, they are not right now. So yeah, we did buy a bigger bed. We have a king size bed now, so when they do sleep with us, it is a little better. We don't get too many feet up here in the face, because they are pretty crazy sleepers. But yeah, let's see. Losing weight. That is a rough topic.
Super rough.
That is a rough topic.
I give a lot of, how would you say it? Kudos to all the women who lose the weight like this and get on that healthy lifestyle and are super into it. I wish I had that motivation. And
I do have everyone's body is different, right? Everyone's body is
my metabolism is slow as a snail.
Yeah, it's rough, but my experiences after each kid has been different. So after I had Bella, I wasn't breastfeeding after 3 months, and I lost the weight like this. I actually went under my pre-pregnancy weight, but I wasn't working. I had to find a new job, and I got hired when she was 8 months old, so I was off for 8 months. And when I got pregnant with her, I was like 147, 150, and I dropped down to 140.
Wow.
Yeah, and all I was doing was eating a lot of fish, chicken, vegetables, smoothies, or shakes. No, smoothies. They were smoothies, not shakes. And it worked for me. My husband and I did it together, and it worked. And I got hired at an office job. I gained a lot of weight. I went up to like 175. And when I was trying to get pregnant with Julian, I said, you know what? I need to lose some weight because I know I'm going to gain weight. Mm-hmm. So I probably went up to 180. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think like 40 pounds because I lost like 15 pounds. So I was like 165. Is that 15 pounds? 70, 65. Mm-hmm. Yes. Sorry, I'm not that good at math. So when I got pregnant with Julian, I was 165. And I went up to 85, 190. So I gained 25 pounds with him. And after I had him, I said, oh, I'm breastfeeding. And I heard so many stories of when you breastfeed, you lose the weight like this, right? I mean, that's what I heard. And it was not true.
Makes you super hungry.
I was starving, and my mom would make me this oatmeal with chocolate in it, and
delicious.
Oh my gosh, it gave me milk, but I don't know. I can't blame anyone but myself.
Yes.
It is harder for me to lose weight while I was breastfeeding because you are a little more restricted on what you eat because you don't want to pass anything on to your baby.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a little rough. We are currently on a
Health journey.
So
you will see, you will see hopefully in the future some videos that I will be slimmer.
We're going to be positive about this.
We are. Now that I'm officially off breastfeeding, I'm going to start, and I'm not saying that women who can do it and just eat vegetables and exercise and do all that good.
This is just our
This
journey.
is our opinion,
yes.
our journey. So please
The
don't
way
hold anything against us.
The way our bodies work. I know everyone is different, so whatever works best for you.
Yes.
But this is what didn't work and what worked for us.
It's hard.
Yeah.
And
I love food.
Me too.
It really makes me happy.
I love food. I know it's so bad.
It's okay though.
I do. I love food a lot. Let's talk about losing hair.
This hair.
Oh man, losing hair. I always lost hair no matter what. I have thick hair.
Postpartum hair loss.
Yes, I have thick hair. So I was constantly always losing hair. I'm gonna go whatever, no difference.
Mm-hmm.
I started noticing. I remember you telling me you had a perfect. Both of them. Mm-hmm. I remember you telling me actually with both of them. You have a perfect hairline.
Okay, you guys, just look. Like, it's just I'm sorry, but I have like a widow. It's just horrible.
So I'm like,
your hairline is gorgeous.
And then that stuck in my head. I'm like, oh, yes, I have a perfect hairline. Now with the postpartum hair loss, I'm getting little baby hairs everywhere, and I'm like, oh geez, how do I tame these? This is ridiculous. It's adding more hair, so I'm losing it, but I'm gaining it. So it's no difference here. Besides in the baby's diapers, finding in the baby's hands, finding it on my furniture. That's really annoying. That's about it.
Mine was pretty rough. I guess we have to talk about our hairline. So my hair, I have big, what are these called? In Spanish they're called entradas, but I don't know.
What are those called?
Just here.
Okay.
So in the middle, I have a good amount of hair, but here in the side, I have a lot of baby hair. You can see it. This is
growing, girl.
Yeah, but it's always been like that. They just stay there. I'm pretty bald right there. Your baby's crawling away. So when I'm not losing hair, I already don't have hair here. So after Bella, I started losing so much hair. It was ridiculous, you guys. I was so scared. I texted my mom and she said, no, I never lost any hair. She has 4 kids. I was like, oh my gosh, something is wrong with me, Mom. I am going bald. I Googled it, which you shouldn't do. But I figured out it's called postpartum hair loss. And I was like, okay, I'm not the only one. And I think I even posted on Facebook. I said, has anyone ever lost hair, a tremendous amount of hair after giving birth? And everyone was like, yeah. I was like, okay, thank God. I don't know what I thought was happening to me. But it was pretty bad. I had to start doing my hair, like covering the sides, you guys. And I cut it. Every time I have a child, I cut my hair short, and that doesn't really help. I
do that with my first. Now with my second, I haven't. This is the longest I've had it in a while.
Yeah, it's getting pretty long. But just to close that topic, I was going bald, and it's pretty crazy.
Trying to.
So what about time management?
there is not enough time in this world to finish whatever we have to finish. It's hard within like taking the kids to soccer practice, within taking, we have to get ready for work, you know, school work for you, with Bella, she's in school. So, I mean, my kid isn't at school. They both get taken care of by the same wonderful, lovely angel. My friends, I love your mom. She's the best. She's an angel. So it's just by dropping them off there and then going to work, working there 8 hours, and then from there picking up the kids, you know, dinner, bathing the kids. And I'm not saying that our husbands don't help,
but it's still difficult.
It's still difficult because he can only help so much, you know. And I'm very particular. Like, I need things done like this, and I'm the only one that could do it like this. And it's not fair for him because it doesn't have to be done fast sometimes.
Going back to my first child, learning how to do day-to-day things all over again, having a child now, I was lost. Like, I remember the first time we went somewhere, the three of us, I think we were late to our first doctor's appointment because I didn't realize.
Who is on time?
And the doctor even told us, like, we expect every new parent to be late because you're a new parent. You have to stop brushing your hair, go feed the baby. You have to stop putting your pants on, go feed the baby. You just have to stop doing things to attend the baby. I mean,
it's like a slow mo. It's like a slow mo movie.
Yeah, it's crazy. And you take a shower, you hear the baby cry. You take a fast shower, and the baby was not even crying. You just just hear the baby crying.
What's that disease called?
It's not a disease. And then I'm like, okay. So once my husband went back to work, I was like, how am I gonna do this? How do I go to the store with a baby? You learn, you manage. It is difficult though.
Yeah, it's so difficult.
When I got pregnant with my second one and I had him, I was losing my mind. How am I going to go to the store with 2 kids? Where am I gonna put them? I was lost. And I know I sound crazy, like these moms.
And you can't just leave them in the car.
The moms that have more than 2 kids are like, girl, they're probably telling me, girl, you don't even know. But I mean, you literally learn. I remember putting the car seat in like the cart at the store, and then Bella sitting her in the front. I was like, oh, so where do I put all my stuff that I'm gonna buy?
It takes you know what? I really hope someone, please invent something where we can, I don't know, maybe like a dumb buggy, put the cart. I don't know. I think, speaking of that, because it's so hard to go grocery shopping, and I experienced it because I still have her. She's just getting good at setting. So now I could put her in and I have a lot of room for groceries. But if someone could please out there invent or engineer or Shark Tank, anybody, you could get this idea and patent it. I do not care. A shopping cart. And on the side of the shopping cart, kind of like, you know, those motorcycles that have like for their dogs, have the car seat there. And then you still have a full-on basket to put all your groceries. Please, someone invent that in Shark Tank. Any of the big major grocery stores.
That would be amazing.
Look into that.
I would have
where you can have your car seat in a little same car. It's gonna be a bigger cart, but it's okay because it's just.
Because even if you take the stroller down, I remember taking the stroller down and Bella was walking. The bottom of the stroller, not everything fits. Like, you can't go full on.
A bag of rice and bread and milk. That's about it.
Yeah. We are just going to wrap that up with time management. Is hard in the beginning, but you learn.
It's doable. You could do it. We women are wonderful unicorns, special in every single way. We are magical. Mm-hmm. We just get shit done. Excuse my language, but we do.
Yeah.
We're very powerful. We're amazing. We are amazing.
Preach.
We are We are amazing.
Yes, girl.
And
I think that's about it.
yeah. So sorry.
I mean, there's so much to be said, but
motherhood is hard.
we kind of just want to wrap that up. Yeah, it's hard, but so rewarding.
Very rewarding.
Like the best
Very rewarding
feeling in the world.
Yeah. When they say, "Mommy, I love you," you're like, "Oh, but you just like totally kicked me 2 seconds ago."
Yeah.
You know, we have to take care of our kids, and like I said, we're doing this because we're doing this for fun. We do have full-time jobs. We really want to reach every woman out there, and just have fun with this. I don't there's really, this is our fun. This is something where it's
like
both of us.
We said in the last one, I believe, we are unicorns. We're sister-in-laws. We love hanging out together.
So if we weren't doing this, if we wouldn't be recording this, we would still be here talking, drinking wine, and
so might as well share it with the
world. Yes, I like that.
Yeah, me too. So let's
that.
Cheers to close out this beautiful
to
topic.
Motherhood.
And now we gotta think of a next topic.
You know what? I feel like the next topic we should do beauty.
Beauty.
I think maybe I'm gonna be naked face. I would come in
you
with
scared me.
I haven't had that much wine.
Sorry.
I don't know what.
Naked face. Okay.
Naked face, and I think I'm gonna do like my daily fast routine.
Okay, we can do it together.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we will be mentioning the products we use. And I'm excited because I love makeup. I love playing with it. I do have that mom look where I'm just naked face all the time. But there's times where I love getting all glammed up, and I think our next one will be beauty. Yeah. What products we like.
I feel like you'll see a little bit of our personality in it. I like to use. I'm a very drugstore friendly, and I feel like you're a little more high end.
Yes.
And so you'll get to see the products that I have, but and in no way, shape, or form am I.
I'm not a moi.
Close to being a moi. That's what we call them. Makeup artists.
Love you guys. Follow you guys.
Oh my God, yes.
We yes.
I love you guys. I wish, but we'll just show you guys what we do. Our day to day, every day. Thanks. Yes.
So wrapping that up.
Sorry.
Like I said, full disclosure, we are gonna have bloopers. We are gonna be starting to edit soon our videos. We're working on that. We thank you guys for having patience with us. I would say
tag us your stories.
Send
we want to
us,
see your stuff.
Comment.
Share.
Be nice.
Share it to the world.
Yeah, and we're real. And I feel like that's what I mentioned to Sandy, that I want us to be authentic and real from the get-go, because I mean, obviously when we go into this further on in the future, we want to be more professional. Obviously, we want to have more higher tech, but right now we're just two working moms who are doing this for fun, and we do want to advance this to where it looks at least a little bit more professional.
Yeah.
But not to the point where we lose ourselves when we're just doing this to please other people.
Yeah.
You know,
we want to just keep it real. So.
Yeah. For sure, 100%. You know, I have a friend who says that. For sure, 100%. I love her. I love my friend who says that.
Yeah.
I'm going to take it from her. I always say that. When I talk about it, I'm like you say, for sure, 100%. So I know she's going to see this. So thank you.
So
and with that, we're wrapping it up, and see you guys in a week.
Let us know if you guys want to join us. We would love to bring
I have
a little special someone on here. I think that would be so much fun.
So, I'm gonna interview them.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not famous people.
No.
But we're fun.
And I always tell my husband, I'm funny. So he doesn't think so, but
Same here.
You can just laugh at yourself. Yes. It's all good.
Same here. So wrapping that up, we'll see you guys in a week. Like, comment, share. We are _. We have an Instagram page and we also have a YouTube page. And also, cheers! Oh, I don't want to break it.